Hello everyone, welcome to my tutorial. Let's talk about MapReduce. This is a framework in Hadoop that processes a large dataset with a parallel distributed algorithm on a cluster. So we already know what is a parallel and distributed system, and we already know that Hadoop HDFS, that means the Hadoop distributed file system, is built in such a way that it supports the parallel processing. And then we also know what is a cluster. So cluster means a collection of nodes or computers. Now let's consider that we are going to have a input file, and this is my input file, okay? And in this input file, we are going to have a large chunk of data, although you can see just I have input ABC, and consider that these ABCs are individual just words. And then I'm going to get the output in such a way that it tells that how many words are there in the document. So that means my desired output is number of occurrence for A is 1, B is 3, C is 1, and D is 1. Although this is a very small data set, but in reality, we are going to have a very big, large data set. So let's say we can analyze the log files, and we can tell that in a day how many errors happened in the log file. So now let's move on to actually seeing that how it happened. So now let's look into this picture. We are going to have a input file, and the input file you can see over here, we have few words ABC, CBD, and BC, and you can see that these are separated with commas. Okay, the first part of the MapReduce system is called the map, and the second one is the reduce. So the map takes input from the text file. So we put the text file into the HDFS system, and the HDFS will break it down. Okay, so it breaks down the text file, and we know that it breaks down the text file into what? Into blocks. And then the block size can be, let's say, 128 meg. Okay, now this chunk of data, let's say this is 128, this is 128, and this is 128. Now these blocks are sent to the map function, and the map function is running into different nodes. So the first part of it is that it is splitting the data. So we have a comma separated value, and then it's making like this: ABC, CBD, and BC. And always remember that these are running in different nodes. Then after that, it is doing what? It is mapping, and the mapping is always happening in this way: key value, key, and then value. So you can see that this word is a key, and this is the value, and the key is the string, and the value is telling that how many occurrence for that particular string for this read. Okay, so we have A1, that is what we can see, and then we have B, 1 occurrence over here, and then C, 1 occurrence over here. Okay, and again the same way it is being repeated. So we are going to have this C is the key, and then the value is 1, and then with this B we are going to have a key which is the B, and the value is 1. Okay, so like that way we are going to get the map function for this BC as well. So the mapping function is basically doing what? It is splitting the data, okay, and then it's doing some key value pair. Okay, so again this is doing a key value pair, and then it's going to feed the data to another function, and that is called the reduce function. So now we can consider this to be a tuple, right? So we can call that to be a tuple, and this tuple is a key value pair. Now the reducer node processes all the tuples such that all the pairs with the same key are counted, and the count is updated as the value of the specific key. So again, in the reducer thing, we are going to have two parts, shuffling and reducing. And you can see that with all the keys, with A and B, C and D, they are grouped together. Okay, so this is what we're doing now, shuffling. And then in this stage, we are going to kind of like getting grouped together. Okay, so this one is coming in one node here, here, and here. And then at the reducing stage, we are doing what? We are kind of like combining all this, okay? And we can see that the occurrence for A is 1, B is 3, C is 1, and D is 1. And that is what we are getting at the very end, the output. The whole thing can be called as the MapReduce system. Now about the MapReduce system, remember that this is very good for the batch processing. So that means we are going to get a really big file and then feed that into the HDFS. For the real-time doing the MapReduce system, we have something other kind of technologies.